this is a great topic because it's one that I have questions about. Generic versus brand medication. So I'm just going to let you hit it off, Dr. Quinn. What's the difference?
Here's the deal. I got a phone call just yesterday. My nurse brought me the phone. She was so upset. The patient got on the phone and I said, "How can I help you?" And he asked me, he said, "Why would you prescribe the generic medication for me? Do you think I can't afford the good stuff? Do you care about me as a doctor? Why would you give me the cheap stuff?" And I said, "Sir, listen, we did not give you the cheap medication." I told him, I said, "I don't wear Gucci shoes." And he was like, "What? What are you talking about?" And I said, I explained to him that I wear shoes from Dillard's. The Gucci shoes that are equivalent to the shoes that I wear would cost approximately $2,400 in Beverly Hills at the Gucci store. I told him that my shoes cost $105. I said they have the same efficacy, the same safety, and that's the analogy I use for the generic medication versus the brand medication. Brand medication has a certain efficacy, meaning it works a certain level of strength. It has the same safety as far as the generic versus the brand. The generic has to go through FDA testing to prove that it's just as effective and just as safe. But the deal is the brand is so much more expensive because they have what's called a patent. But the patent runs out, and then when the patent runs out, then the other pharmaceutical companies can copy it. They just have to make a little bit of a change. So there might be a little bit of a difference between the Gucci shoes versus the Dillard shoes, but both of them work the same, just as effective, and his blood pressure is going to be down.
No, I mean, that makes sense to me. I mean, that's most things in life, right? There's generic and there's brand. So do people get scared taking generic medication? Do they go, "Hey, why am I not taking this?" I mean, I heard that little story, but that seems like that may be an issue.
Right. And some people do get afraid, but here's the deal. Just like my patient yesterday, he was able to call me and I was able to reassure him and let him know that the generic medication has the same efficacy, means it works just as well. It's research proven, it's just as safe. Basically, if somebody is concerned, they need to talk to their medical provider to be reassured, and hopefully they can get through to them.
Are there times where the brand medication might actually be better, or are you saying there's really not much of a difference outside of that little small tweak?
There are some special circumstances where the generic just doesn't work as well as the brand with that specific medication. But that's the case in a lot of times when I refer a patient to a specialist, they'll put them on the brand, but then they have to do something called the prior authorization where they've tried the generic and the generic didn't work for that individual person. But that's very rare. 99% of the time, the generic is fine. You'll never see Dr. Quinn walking with no Gucci shoes on, because I just can't afford $2,400 for one pair of shoes.
Yeah, and we talked about this before on another topic, but it would be illegal for a doctor to prescribe a brand medication that they know that there is a connection with? Do I have that right? Or
no, it's not illegal, but at the end of the day, doctors like me and all the doctors out there, we care about our patients, and we don't want them to have to spend money that's unnecessary. Most insurance companies don't pay for the brand because the generic is available. And if you write the brand, the patient might have to pay, say, $800 when there's a generic where it's only going to be $20 with the insurance. So if a doctor cares about his patient, he's not going to write the brand first. He's always going to give them the less expensive alternative because we don't want them to spend unnecessary money. There's no point in Gucci shoes.
Yeah, you know what? I realized what I was remembering. It was the referrals where there may be some ethical issues on. But yeah, this is very interesting. So I guess we got about 30 seconds. Or you just trust the generic. It's fine. There's a reason it had to be approved.
Tested, approved, safe, efficacy, just as good. Has to be cleared by the FDA before it can go to market.